Hi everyone, this is Selena. Welcome back to one of my videos. I hope you're well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Selena and I release crochet tutorials and free patterns. So today I'm so happy to bring to you this amazing and delicate cardigan. I absolutely adore it. It's so pretty and it's so feminine, and I do hope you enjoy this tutorial. The introduction may be a bit lengthy, so I will be writing timestamps in the down bar if you just want to jump ahead to the tutorial. As always, the free pattern is available on my blog selenaveronique.com, so don't forget to check that out. The link will be in the description box. So yes, so this project I absolutely adore. I really enjoyed crocheting it, and as you can see, it's a slightly cropped summer cardigan. It features front ties and it features a V-stitch on as the main stitch for this cardigan. It also features beautiful granny square detailed sleeves, and I absolutely love this detailing. So on each sleeve cuff I have put some granny squares. So this cardigan also features a really delicate shell stitch as a border. So yes, I absolutely adore this cardigan. You will be able to find lots of different photos on my blog post, so don't forget to head over there, and I will be going through the whole pattern in this video tutorial. So for this project I used quite a fine yarn. So this is what I have left of the yarn, and this is a yarn that I bought in the UK. It's called Krea Deluxe and it's organic cotton. It's color 50. It comes in 50-gram balls, which is also 165 meters. And it's considered a fingering weight yarn. So for size S, I did use 400 grams of yarn. I will be popping all the details in the description box and obviously in the free pattern. As always, so don't worry about that. You can easily substitute this. This is 100% organic cotton. I will be putting a link in the description box for this yarn and also a substitute if you live in the US. But it's very easily substitutable. It's just 100% cotton fingering yarn, and honestly that's what I wanted for a summery project. I feel that it looks nicer with a finer yarn, and I just wanted to use this yarn which I got for my birthday. So you will also be needing a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle, and I will be demonstrating size S on this video, but this cardigan comes in a lot of different sizes. From S to XXXL, so please go ahead and check out the pattern if you want to make a different size. It's very easy, just follow along my pattern and look at the size you are wanting to crochet, and then just follow along the stitches in the video, just making sure that you are chaining the right amount for the size that you want to make, and just check the number of rows also and you should be good to go. I will be writing down in the materials how much you need per size, of course, how much yarn you need per size, so don't worry about that. Everything is detailed in the pattern. So yes, I will be speaking in US terms with British terms in brackets. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe because that really helps out my channel. And without further ado, I'm just gonna jump into the tutorial. Okay, so to begin this tutorial, I will be showing you how to crochet the back panel and also the front panels, which are crocheted directly onto the project. I will be showing you all of this in detail, and then once I finished showing you this part, I will be showing you the sleeves and then the little flower squares to crochet for the sleeve cuffs. And then we will be stitching the cardigan together. And once again, I am crocheting size S, so I will be giving the chain count and row counts for size S. But if you want to crochet a different size, that's totally fine. You can follow along. But just make sure you go to my website. The link is in the description box, the exact link for this free pattern. And make sure that you look at the chain count and the row count for the size that you are making. So to begin this tutorial, you will be making a slip knot. So just go ahead and make a slip knot. Pop your hook through, and for size S, we will be chaining 78. So just go ahead and chain 78. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've chained less just to demonstrate the stitch, but you should have 78 chains or more. So now you will be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains from the hook, and you will be placing a double crochet into this chain. So to double crochet, wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the chain, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and pull through 2 loops, and take your yarn and pull through 2 loops. And the first chain 4 counts as a double crochet in chain space. Now inside this same stitch where we've just placed a double crochet, go ahead and place another double crochet into that, and this creates our first V-stitch. Now skip a chain and go into the next and place 2 double crochets into that, like so. And now once again, skip a chain and go into the next with 2 double crochets, and just go ahead and repeat this pattern until you reach the end of the row. Okay, so I've almost finished my row. Obviously yours will be a lot longer, but this is for demonstration purposes. Now that I've placed my last V-stitch, I have 2 chains left for this row. You will be skipping 1 chain and going into the last chain with a double crochet. So just go ahead and place a double crochet into this stitch. And this is our row 1. And now for row 2, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work, and this counts as your first double crochet. And now this is going to be a very simple pattern repeat. So go into the V-stitch from the previous row, and directly into this space you will be placing 2 double crochets to create a V-stitch. So just go ahead and place 2 double crochets. Now go into the next space with 2 double crochets, and just continue this, placing V-stitches into each and every chain, V-stitch across in this case. I've almost finished, so I'm just going to finish this this part. And now for my last stitch, I am once again just going to be placing a double crochet into the last double crochet, which is also the chain 3 from the previous row. And so this is what we have for now. And obviously this will shape up as we go. So just continue with this pattern. So repeat row 2 until you have 34 rows in total. And then once you have 34 rows in total, I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so once you've done this pattern for 34 rows, so I'm just going to remind you this is size S. I'm going to show you how to crochet the front panels, and as you can see we are crocheting the front panels directly onto the project just to limit sewing. So I've already crocheted one side, and to crochet this side I just did not stop. I just carried on my rows, except I crocheted them smaller, if that makes sense. So I'm going to demonstrate how many stitches you need and what to do for both sides, if that makes sense. So obviously I'm going to be attaching my yarn to this side and demonstrate the second panel. However, it will be the exact same principle for the other side that I've already done, except you won't be attaching your yarn, you're just going to be carrying on. So I hope this makes sense. So to begin, I've attached my yarn, and obviously both front panels are absolutely identical. So I've attached my yarn, sorry about the zooming in, on the stitch, and now I'm popping my hook through, and what I am going to be doing is chaining 3. Okay, so go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and this counts as your first double crochet. We are now going to be placing our V-stitches, so just go directly into the next V-stitch, and as you can see it is just a simple repeat of what we've just seen, except for smaller rows. So you are going to be placing 15 V-stitches in total. So I'm just going to let you place 15 V-stitches in total, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've crocheted 15 V-stitches, and now what we are going to be doing is placing a double crochet into the next double crochet from the previous row. So just place one double crochet to finish off this row like so. As you can see, it's a lot narrower, and now we are simply going to be repeating this row. So turn your work, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. This counts as your first double crochet, and just place your V-stitches across, and once you reach the end of this row, once again just place a double crochet into that stitch. So just go ahead and place a double crochet into the last stitch, and just repeat this row over and over 34 times, and then fasten off, and obviously repeat the same thing on the other side. So just repeat the same thing. Obviously you won't have to fasten off and reattach your yarn. So yes, I'll let you carry this on, and then I'll get back to you. So as you can see, I've just finished both front panels like I said I would. this is what we have. Okay, so I've popped that to the side, and now you are going to be crocheting 2 sleeves. And so for the sleeves, it's the exact same principle, except you only have the same amount of stitches. You're not going to be decreasing at any point. It's just going to be row after row of V stitches. And for size S, you will be chaining 67. Yes, and you will have 33 rows for the sleeves. Obviously, once again, this is for size S. Everything is written for the different sizes on the blog, so don't forget to check that out. Okay, so now we are going to be creating the sleeve cuffs. So I've already completed 1 sleeve cuff. This is what it looks like, and I'm very excited. I love it. And so in order to create this sleeve cuff, we are going to be crocheting a square, and then once we've completed the square, we are going to be adding 2 rows of filet crochet on one side. So to create this square, just make a slip knot. So just go ahead and create a slip knot, pop your hook through and tighten. And now you are going to be chaining 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And slip stitch through the first chain. So just go ahead and slip stitch to create a circle into which we will be crocheting. You can also use a magic knot for this part. And so we are going to be fastening in the loose end as we go. So chain 1, this does not count as a stitch. And now just go ahead and place 8 single crochets within the center. So to create a single crochet, just pop your hook directly through, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and pull through 2 loops. And now just go ahead and place your single crochet. So you need 8 in total, so 3, 4. Okay, so I've placed my 8 single crochets, and now just go ahead and slip stitch through the first single crochet like so, and afterwards we will be pulling on this loose end to close this off. And now chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and this counts as your first double crochet, and you will be placing 2 more double crochets within this center. There we go. So as to have 3 double crochet per single crochet, chain 1, and now go ahead and place 3 double crochets inside the next stitch. Chain 1 and place 3 double crochet inside the next stitch, and then you will be chaining 1 and repeat this process until you have 8 clusters of 3 double crochets, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so to finish this round, I've placed my 3 last double crochets. I've chained 1, and now I'm going to slip stitch through the first chain 3 to close off this round. Okay, now for the next round, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, turn your work, and we will be working in this chain space, and you will be placing 2 more double crochets. Your first chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Chain 2 and place another 3 double crochets inside this space. Now go skip the next 3 double crochets and go directly into the next space with 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, and now go directly into the next space with 3 double crochets, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and place 3 more double crochets into this space. Okay, skip the next 3 stitches, well, the next 3 double crochets, and place 3 double crochets into this. And by the way, the 3 double crochets chain 2, 3 double crochets that we've placed, as you can see, are creating the corners of this square. Now go into the next space with 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets, skip 3 double crochets and go into the next space with 3 double crochets, and then we will be placing our last stitches, skip 3 double crochets and go into the next space with 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then skip 3 double crochets and go into the next and last space with simply 3 double crochets to finish off this round. Now slip stitch through the first chain 3 once again to close off this round, and this is what we have. It's a beautiful square. And now we are simply going to be adding one round of double crochet of simple granny square. So chain 3, turn your work and place 2 more double crochets inside the space. Now go into the next space with 3 double crochets, and now go into the next space, which is the corner, with 3 double crochets, chain 2 and place another 3 double crochets inside this space, and into the next space place just 3 double crochets, so 1, 2 and 3, and into the next space place 3 double crochets, 2 and 3, and into the next space, which is the corner, place 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and I'm going to let you carry on this round. So yes, place simply 3 double clusters of 3 double crochets in the next 2 spaces, and then in the corner place our usual 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then place your clusters, and then again when you see a corner just place your corner stitches, and then once you've gone all the way around I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I've gone all the way around, as you can see, and I'm going to be slip stitching through the first chain 3 as always. I am going to be snipping off my yarn. Okay, so I've pulled gently on the center to tighten this up, and now I am going to be showing you how to crochet the filet crochet stitches on the side. So you are going to be choosing a corner stitch and attaching your yarn onto this like so. And now you are going to pop your hook through and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this counts as your first double crochet and chain. Skip 1 stitch and go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch and go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch and go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch and go into the next with a double crochet, and just repeat. Yes, so I've carried on and I've reached the corner, so chain 1, skip 1 chain here and go into the corner chain like so to create your last stitch. And now repeat this row, chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and just place a double crochet into the double crochet from the previous row, chain 1, and just repeat this pattern until you reach the end of this row, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've placed my last double crochet into the chain 4 from the previous row. I am going to be fastening off. I am going to be leaving a longer tail for this part, just because we will be using it to sew the squares together. Just repeat this process. For size S, you will need 3 squares for each sleeve, so you will need 6 squares in total. So just repeat this process 6 times and sew in your loose ends except the last end here, and then I'll show you how to stitch the squares together. Okay, so I've done my 3 squares. Well, I've done 6, but obviously the other 3 are for the other sleeve, and this is how you are going to be placing these squares. So the square part of each square is going to be touching a filet crochet side. Does that make sense? So you're placing your squares symmetrically, and now you are going to be sewing the filet crochet side to the granny square side, and you are going to be using the mattress stitch. This is very easy. You can use sewing pins. If you know me, you know I rarely use sewing pins to pin my projects in place to sew. I just sew my projects freehand. Does that make sense? But yes, just go ahead and sew your squares in, and then I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I've sewed in these squares and I've done it twice. I haven't sewed this part yet because I want to sew the rest of the cardigan, and then I'll assess how to sew this part onto the sleeve cuff, and I haven't decided yet. So until I decide, I am going to be sewing in the cardigan. So to begin, we are taking each sleeve. So this is my sleeve, and this is these are the V-stitches. So the V-stitches are like this, so the row side, and we are going to be folding this lengthwise, not row-wise. Does that make sense? So these are the rows. Just switch this like that, and then just fold over, and this will be your sleeves. So these are the V-stitches facing this way. And now I'm going to be popping my loose end, my yarn, onto my tapestry needle, and I'm just going to be doing exactly what I always do when sewing. I'm going to be using the mattress stitch, and I'm just going to be going from one side to the other, sewing this symmetrically, and I'm going to be repeating this process on both sleeves. Once again, please feel free to use pins in order to secure your project. That's completely fine. And yes, so sew both your sleeves in, and then I'll show you how to sew in the rest of the cardigan. Okay, so I've sewed both sleeves. So I'm trying to locate. So this is one of the sleeves, as you can see, and I've sewed both sleeves, and I'm popping this first sleeve to the side. As you can see, I've placed my project like so. So I've placed my project and I folded over the front panel symmetrically, and what I am going to be doing, I've attached my yarn and I've placed my sleeve like so. Please be mindful of always placing the seam facing down, because it just gives a bit of a nicer look. And so now I'm just going to be sewing the front of the sleeve, so the front panel of the sleeve to the front panel of the project. So make sure you do this using the mattress stitch, and just make sure you don't catch the back panel, because otherwise you'll have to redo your stitching. And so just go ahead and sew your sleeve in, and then I'll show you what to do once we reach the bottom of the sleeve. Okay, so I've sewed up to here, and now I'm simply going to continue sewing in the front panel and the back panel. So yes, you can just continue sewing this in until you reach the bottom of the project, and make sure obviously it's symmetrical. And I'm just going to go all the way down here, and then once I've reached here, I will be tying a knot, and then I'll flip over the cardigan and show you how to sew the back part. Okay, so I've sewed all the way to the bottom, and now I'm just going to flip this cardigan over and obviously rearrange it slightly. And now I'm just going to be attaching the yarn probably at the top of this sleeve. I'm probably going to need a longer piece of yarn, but just sew in the back and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I finished sewing in both sides. So let me just de-zoom a little bit. As you can see, I do apologize. One of my neighbors has started doing his lawn, so there's a bit of a noise, but I thought I would still film. So I apologize. So this is what we have, and now we are going to be finishing the sleeves. And so to finish the sleeves, we are going to be sewing this together, these. So just go ahead and sew this seam, and then I'll show you how to sew it onto the sleeve. Okay, so I've sewed this these 3 squares together, and this is how I've placed this cuff. As you can see, the granny square part is slightly smaller than the actual sleeve, and this is on purpose. So the way I'm going to be sewing this in is I'm going to sew this side to this side, if that makes any sense. And I am going to be very careful because this is going to shrink the size of the cuff, and this is normal. So it's going to make the cuff tightened. I hope this is making sense. And so I'm just going to be sewing in this like that. So I've started on this side, and I'm going to sew all of this across, and it's just going to tighten it a bit. And then once I'm happy with this, I'll go around on the other side and do the exact same thing. I mean the other side of the cuff. And this will tighten the cuff only slightly. It's not going to be something major, but it will give it a bit of a shape, which I love. And obviously, I hope you like it too. So just go ahead and sew this in and repeat the process on the other side of the sleeve cuff. You might want to use some pins for this part. It's entirely up to you. I would rather kind of freehand it, adjusting my cuff as I go, but this is just my personal choice. So yes, so please go ahead and do this and repeat the process on both sides. And then once you've done this, I'll get back to you. Okay, so I'm really excited. I finished my sleeve. I finished sewing my sleeve cuffs in, and I'm very excited. And now we are going to be finishing off the sleeves with a simple little single crochet edging just along the sleeve. So very simple, very pretty, just to give it a bit of a tidier look. So just tie your yarn, chain 1, and this counts as a single crochet, and now go into the next stitch with a single crochet, and just go all the way around this edge, placing single crochets into each and every stitch along. So single crochets sometimes tend to tighten a project, so please make sure that you space them out evenly so as to not tighten the project. Or you can go up 1 hook size if you have a tight tension. I tend to have a very loose tension, so I did keep the same crochet hook size. However, if you tend to have a tighter tension, please bear this in mind. So just go all the way around, and then I'll show you what to do once we've finished this part. Okay, so I've gone all the way around, and let me just show you. I've placed my last single crochet here, and I'm just going to slip stitch through the the chain 1 that I made. You can either slip stitch through the chain 1 or the first single crochet and pull your yarn through, and repeat this process on the other sleeve cuff and tidy up your loose ends, and then I'll show you what to do for the front of the cardigan. So I finished both the sleeves. and I'm so in love. I absolutely adore this project. Even though I've not finished crocheting it, I did try it on and I love it so much. This is going to be one of my favorite cardigans to wear in the summer. And now we are going to be crocheting the front opening. We are going to be crocheting a border, and then once we've finished this, we will be crocheting the bottom, and that will be it. So I'm very excited. So to begin the front opening, pop your hook through and tie your yarn at the front. And now we are going to be creating a single crochet edging. So I've attached my yarn at the bottom, and you are going to be chaining one, and like I said, you will be crocheting a single crochet edging all the way across. So just place single crochets all the way up and all the way across the whole front opening, if that makes sense. And so make sure that you place enough single crochets, because this is what I call the wrong side of the stitches, meaning this is the row side, and so you will need to place enough single crochets, because otherwise you do run the risk of not placing enough single crochets. So just place all of your single crochets, making sure you are not tightening your project once again. And so let me just show you. I'm going to de-zoom and just go all the way up and then across the neck and then down again, and then once you reach the other side, I'll show you what to do then. Okay, so we've gone all the way across, and I did put a little sign up on the screen that, yes, I forgot to say that these single crochets have to be preferably a multiple of 5. Yes, so now I'm going to show you the second row. So as you can see, I've gone all the way across, and now I'm going to show you the second row. And to show you this row, I'm just going to turn my project just for the purposes of it being more clear. So to begin, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and this counts as your first double crochet. Now place 2 more double crochets in this same stitch, and this creates your first half shell. Now skip 1, 2 stitches and go into the third with a single crochet. Now skip 1, 2 stitches and go into the third with 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and now skip 1 and 2 stitches and go into the next with a single crochet. Skip 2 stitches and place 5 single crochets into the stitch, and just repeat this pattern until you've gone all the way across this edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So repeat this, and then once you reach the last 5 stitches on the other side, I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've gone all the way around, and I've placed my last half shell stitch. I'm just going to zoom in. I've placed this half shell stitch, I hope you can see, into the last stitch to finish off this this border, so I'm absolutely in love with the front opening of this cardigan. Let me just de-zoom. So for now I'm just in love with this cardigan. So yes, so now we are not going to be fastening off, we are simply going to be crocheting the bottom border of the cardigan. So we are simply going to be working our way from this side all the way across and then up to this part. And so to begin, we are going to be crocheting a row of single crochets once again. So chain 1, this does count as a single crochet. And now just place single crochets all the way across the bottom of this cardigan. So just go ahead and place a single crochet all the way across into each stitch, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've gone all the way across with a single crochet, edging for the first row, and now we are going to be placing half double crochet. So chain 2, and this counts as your first half double crochet. And now you are going to be placing a half double crochet into each and every stitch across. So to half double crochet, wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and pull through 3 loops, and now repeat this again, and just place a half double crochet into each and every stitch across until you reach the end of this row. Okay, so I'm back, and in the end I crocheted 3 half double crochet rows in total at the bottom. I thought that was nice, a nice length for me. Obviously this is more of a cropped design, but please feel free to add more rows if you want a less cropped version. I mean, obviously I will be wearing it on top of my clothes because it's a cardigan. So for me, a little bit of cropped is fine. But yes, so now I'm going to show you how to crochet the ties at the front. As you can see, I've already made one just to be sure that I'm demonstrating it well on camera. So to crochet the ties, I have measured 7 inches from the bottom. So this is 7 inches. And this is the shell stitch, and I've just attached my yarn in the middle of the shell stitch, and I'm going to show you now. So I've attached my yarn on the other side. Let me just zoom in. And this is probably roughly around the same for every size, which is why I measured from the bottom of the cardigan. But obviously feel free to adjust to wherever you feel it's better to have the ties. So as you can see, like I said, I've chosen the middle of the shell stitch. Now I am going to be chaining 45. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've chained 45, and now I'm going to count 1, 2 chains from the hook and slip stitch through that second chain from the hook, like so. Sorry, this is quite fine yarn and it's hard to show on camera. And now just go into the next stitch and slip stitch. And just slip stitch through every chain across until you reach the very last chain, and then I'll show you what to do then. Okay, so I've slip stitched through every chain across, and now I'm going to slip stitch through the project just to secure it onto a stitch on the cardigan. I'm snipping off my yarn and I'm pulling through to finish this stitch off, and now I'm just going to tidy up my loose ends. Okay everyone, so this is the finished product. I'm absolutely in love with it. I absolutely adore it. I love all the details about this cardigan, from the sleeves to the front edging with the shell stitch, to the delicate ties at the front, the V-stitch. Everything about this cardigan is so perfect. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please do leave me a like or a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and join my crochet family. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.